Alrighty friends, it's Gwen with you back today with another scrapbooking layout process video, and today is episode 2 of my series Stash Bust Big Stuff. So that's where I pull out something that's big that's in my stash. So today it's actually alphas and I use them up on a layout. So they're the alphas that I will be using. They're from Fancy Pants and I had to look them up. It was 2015. So I'm going to get my ruler and measure one. They are quite large and I know for a fact that I have not used a single one on a layout ever. So we are going to fix that today. I'm teaming those with the Hello Summer collection from Simple Stories. And I have very, very little of that one left. So I've actually also pulled out some pattern papers from my stash. Now, this is a bit of a stash busting video, so I know that top one's Paige Evans, but I'm not sure of the others. And they're the two photos that I'm using. So I have gone ahead off camera and prepared my background there for you, which you can see. It's essentially, it's a 2-inch strip of pattern paper along the bottom edge, and then a few others, 2 more tucked in, and then the stitching added across for dimension and interest. And I'm going to layer my title along that strip. So it's going to essentially create the base for my page. Now I am using a cut file. That one is called Sunseeker and it is from my cut file shop. And I have backed it in just a yellow, plain yellow pattern paper from my stash, and the centerpiece there is that Paige Evans pattern paper, the 6x6, 4x4, no, 6x6, pad that I had at the beginning of the video. Okay, so let's measure these letters. They are almost 2 inches tall. And we'll choose the M because it's nice and wide. The M is 1.5 inches wide, so they are quite big. And I was having a little think about why I might not have used them. And I'm not sure because they are absolutely my colours, mint and pink. Hello. So I think it might have been more the fact that by the time I thought about adding a title and using them as the title, they were too big for me to fit on my page. It's the only thing I can think of. Or that because I do a lot of creating with entire collections and I did not have the full collection of this Happy Place. I only had a few. I had the embellishments and the alphas. So I'm thinking maybe because of that, not sure. Anyway. The good news is they are getting used today, and in fact I purposefully chose a title that was nice and long. So I didn't go with fun or you or even happy. I wanted something that was going to use up as many letters as possible so I could feel like I got a little bit of value out of the pack. I am actually going to keep them out as well, I think, and just have them kick around in a bowl on my desk just maybe for a couple more weeks, and hopefully I think I could maybe make now a layout with a smaller title or maybe use them as part of a longer title and mix and match the size of the alphabet maybe. So we'll see. Okay, so back to the layout, and this is the idea for the design of the page. I'm just messing with the photos there because they're not sitting quite how I want them, and it's about now that I go, oh, I really kind of want foam behind there. I had initially thought that I wanted them to sit flat because the title was raised, but when I got them on there I was just like, no. So anyway, through the miracle of editing, there is now foam behind just that center photo, not the one on the left. And I'm also now able to layer the photo on the left slightly underneath the photo on the right, and they just sit a lot more nicely and are not a lot more like I'd planned. It's funny though, because even after all of that, I wasn't 100% sure about the position of that photo. So I moved back onto adhering my title and getting that all locked into position. Yeah, it was because the photos I wasn't sure whether I wanted them totally straight or a little bit crooked. So, and here I go struggling to remove tape again. It's a thing of late. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. If it's straight, I think I find it easier because it's straight and it's meant to be straight and then it's straight. So that's kind of what I went with. I also think for this page it works because you've got the straight line, the title's quite long and it's very straight, and that bottom banner, that the stripe, the green stripe, it's very straight. So yeah, in my mind I think I decided that if it was crooked, it wouldn't look like it was crooked on purpose. It would maybe look like I had just not positioned it correctly. So, and I didn't want that. So photos are locked in, the title's now locked in, the cut file background is all locked in. It's time for the fun stuff, the embellishing. And I thought, you know what this page needs? A flamingo. And I just so happen to have this one, which is from a tag from that collection from Hello Summer. And I thought rather than put a tag, I didn't really have a place for a tag, I would just fussy cut her out. And we'll have to find a place for her. See, her tail is missing. That's okay. We'll find a workaround for that. So that's why I went to put her on the left there. But yeah, we talked about this. I talked about this in the last voiceover that I did. So I'm not sure whether that video is going to go up before this one or after this one. But I talked about how when people are looking in my photos, they need to be looking sort of more towards the center of the page. I kind of feel the same about embellishments as well, funnily enough. So I really wanted the flamingo to look towards the photos, towards the center of the page. So she has to go somewhere on that side. And see what I did there? I just popped a little bunch of flowers there over her tail and no one would know that she hasn't got a tail. I'm also now working with some of the larger floral pieces that I have. I think a lot of those were actually fussy cut florals out of a pattern paper from the collection. So yeah, I'll always work larger elements to smaller elements. So the large floral pieces will sort of form the base of the clusters. And then I'll add the smaller fun elements on top of those. So now I was also really rolling with the summer theme of the page, and I thought it would be a really good idea to use up some of the parts of the collection that were very summery, like the sunglasses. There's not a lot of pages that you can put a pair of sunglasses on, so I just really ran with this one. I thought, well, we've got a flamingo, we've got all these gorgeous little floral elements, we've got the big sunshine there, why not add some sunglasses? You know, sometimes you have to be a little bit strategic in the types of layouts that you make. So for example, these photos were taken on a road trip, so up to the North Coast. So I could have made this page about a road trip, or I could have made it about a weekend away, or maybe even a Father's Day sort of themed layout with, you know, because it was my husband and my daughter in the pictures there. So I did really think about my stash, and I knew I had this collection that I wanted to use. So I thought, no, let's go with a real summer vibe. I can use up those goodies in my stash. I can get lots of alphabets used up in my, you know, with my big alphas there, and still create a really beautiful page. Yeah, so while we often think about supplies and, like, you know, you'll often hear, just because it's a Christmas collection doesn't mean you have to use it for Christmas. I feel like you can do the same with your photos as well. So just because it was a photo taken on a road trip doesn't mean it needs to go on a page about a road trip. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you to use up some of the supplies that you have as well. Back to the layout, and it's just all about the embellishment clusters now and getting everything right. I have used quite a few stickers. I think there was only maybe one or two chipboard pieces left in this collection. So I did have quite a few stickers. So I have put foam behind a lot of the stickers just for dimension and interest and those layers that I like so much. And I do fuss with that particular embellishment cluster for a little bit because it, just that little space that's above the M, kind of where my hand is there, I'm just not sure what to do with it. So I popped some flowers. I think I went looking for a flare at one point and nothing quite sat. I think I was looking at this stage, I really wanted something with dimension. I don't even know why I tried that heart. That heart is the wrong color. Yes, put it away, Gwen. So yeah, so I do find a solution for that, but yeah, I bailed on that just for a moment. I'll do that if if I'm getting a bit stuck on a section on the page, I'll just move to a section that I'm more confident with, or yeah, where I have a bit more direction. I'll lock in a few other things and just give myself a little breath and yeah, and try again in a moment. It's also about now that I am really trying to eliminate things. So yeah, I'm trying a few bits and pieces, but really I'm just trying to really narrow down what I really need to get this finished. And there's my solution. I actually found, I've had a little container that's got a magnetic strip on the back that's been attached to my Rascog for the longest time, and it's got the most random things in it, one of which was that yellow flower. So I can't tell you how long that has been sitting in that little jar, and now it's on the page. So yay for that. Yeah, just using the 450, Helmer's 450, which I love that glue, but I hate the bottle that it comes in with a passion. It's the worst, but the glue's excellent. So there's that. If anyone's transferred their 450 into another container, like we have for the Scotch, could you let me know below? I'd be interested to hear about that. And we are almost there. The page is nearly done. I will hold it up in a moment here for you lovely creatives. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so great to have you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.